Thank you for attending this training module. In this session, we'll be working on jewelry, specifically a gemstone ring. If you're watching this module, it is assumed that you have already watched the video module number 1. If you have not yet done so, please stop here and watch the module 1 video first. It will provide an overview of this process. Before I begin, I will click on the photos. This will help me to identify appealing aspects of the product and describe it accurately. I'll leave this window open while I work, in case I want to refer back to it. The first field we must complete is the title field. You will note that in the region name field, a couple of rows down, our Bali staff has entered their own product name. You may choose to use that name or not. It is up to you. However, the name is interesting, so I would like to use it. First, however, I must use the title check link to make sure that the title Nirvana is not yet in use for a jewelry item. It is very important that we do not use the same product titles for more than one item in the same category. So what I will do is click on the blue title check link, which will open a new window. When I paste the word Nirvana in there and submit, the query will return a hit count, which will tell you how many items have that same title. In this case, there are apparently 4 items with the same title. When I click on that link, I will see exactly what those items are. In this instance, the items include a wood statuette, a couple of paintings, and an amethyst ring. However, notice how the amethyst ring is the same style as the ring we are working on, just with a different gemstone. This is an exception to the duplicate name rule. You can use the same name for variations of the same product, as long as the entire title is not identical. In other words, the title for the amethyst ring will include the word amethyst in the title, and the ring we are working on will include the words blue topaz in the title, so the title lines will not be identical. As an aside, you may have noticed that there are 2 paintings with the same title, Nirvana. This is another exception to the duplicate name rule. For one-of-a-kind original paintings, multiple artists can use the same title. However, the same artist should not use a title more than once without numbering them. For example, Nirvana 1, Nirvana 2, and so on. So now I will format my title. The format for almost all products is to provide the material and the type of item, followed by a comma, and the title we have chosen in single quotes. For gemstone jewelry, we typically begin with the prominent stone. If there was no gemstone, we would start with the type of metal. So we will title this product Blue Topaz Cocktail Ring, comma, in single quotes, Nirvana. Next, we need to enter the proper name. This is going to be the title we just chose without the single quotes. So we can just copy and paste. Moving down to size info, we can see that there are 2 size entries. Since there is more than one line, we'll need to label the sizes so that the customer knows exactly what those measurements pertain to. When I click on the blue size info link, I can see the labels that the region is assigned. In this case, we're going to use the same labels, but in sentence case. So I enter crown and bandwidth in the 2 label fields and click on Update Labels. When I see Label Updates Complete, I can close that window. Next, we come to mats or materials. We generally list materials in order of prevalence or importance. With precious metals, they will often be the predominant material in a piece of jewelry. Therefore, I will enter the materials separated by commas as 925 sterling silver, comma, blue topaz. Now we've come to the big field, the long description or LD. This is where we will create a well-written, appealing paragraph about the product, perhaps including how it was made, the artist's inspiration for the item, and any particularly unique or desirable features. To do this, it can help to click on the blue Region Product Info link. This is all of the information about the product that has been compiled by our Bali team. Reading about the crafting process, I see that the item is handmade. This is appealing, so I might use it in the LD. In the next field, we have some more details about the item. Jasmine flower and waterfall motifs are mentioned, and so too is the checkerboard faceted antique cushion cut blue topaz. Those are both interesting details that we can use in our long description. The remaining fields are blank. So, returning to our long description field, I will write a paragraph about this product that will hopefully appeal to our customers. Before I proceed, however, I'm going to jump ahead for a moment. It is obviously an attractive feature in a piece of jewelry if a faceted gemstone has notable carat weight. So if I look a bit further down the page, I can see the gemstone details for the ring, and those details include the carat weight of the faceted stone. Because in this case the weight is over 1 carat, I'm going to mention that in the LD. So now let's go back to our long description. So what I've written is flanked by jasmine blossoms, a stunning 4-carat antique cushion cut blue topaz sparkles brilliantly. Artisan Kadek Hendra of Bali presents the handcrafted sterling silver cocktail ring, which features a waterfall motif on the band. Darkly oxidized accents reveal the engraved details and complement the checkerboard faceted gemstone beautifully. Notice how I included the artisan's name and the country that he comes from. And I've also made sure to mention sterling silver and blue topaz, as well as some details about the style of the ring. Now that I've finished with LD, I can move on to the SD, or short description. This field should be a well-flowing description that is keyword-rich, and it should be changed up as much as possible from one product to the next for search engine optimization purposes. All words should be in title case, and you should use as much of the 60-character limit that you can. I have entered handcrafted 4-carat blue topaz and silver cocktail ring. The next field is the eBay title. We list many products on eBay as well as on our own website, so we need to create an eBay title that is keyword-rich and appealing. Do not use punctuation and use as much of the 80-character field limit as possible. So I've entered blue topaz cocktail ring, 4 carats, 925 sterling silver, floral design. The next section, option type, only pertains to those items that have different sizes. such as rings or clothing. For the option type for rings, we will always enter US ring size. For the option name, it's simply going to be the number of the size, as indicated by the region. So we just enter 6, 7, and 8. Beneath this section, you see a section called Related Items. You'll notice that the current count is 0, which would indicate this item has no related items. Now, if you recall, when we checked the title, we saw a ring, the same style, with an amethyst stone. These two rings should in fact be linked, but they are not, which is why the item count here shows a 0. Related items can be useful as they can help ensure consistency in our titles and descriptions, and they can also be a time saver as we can often leverage certain info on the existing product to use on the new product. Next, we come to bullets. Here we select from a menu of product details that may be pertinent. Under the bullet type menu, there'll be various categories. For precious metal jewelry, we always indicate the finish of the metal. Here I would choose combination finish because the sterling silver has parts that are shiny and polished and parts that are dark and oxidized. For standard rings, we do not need to add any other bullets. If this ring were especially wide, we could add a bullet to suggest that the customer may wish to order one size larger than usual for a comfortable fit. However, that would apply only to a ring with a bandwidth of 8 mm or more. The Aspects section is next. Aspects will categorize the product appropriately so that customers browsing our website can locate it using filters. When I click on the Aspects link, it opens a new window. The product category should already be pre-filled, and we can see here that it is jewelry and rings, which is correct. You will not use all aspects for all items. Many are not relevant. Available aspects will vary based on the product category. For all items, we have materials as an aspect, and here we enter the type of metal used for the jewelry. In this case, sterling silver. We do not enter the gemstone under materials as there is a separate aspect for gemstones. Under ring size, you'll enter the sizes in which the ring will be carried. As you recall, when we filled out the options section, this ring comes in sizes 6, 7, and 8. Under the Style aspect, we'll select the ring style. In this case, I would choose Cocktail. It is possible that you will choose more than one. For example here, I could also choose Single Stone. The Subject aspect is not in use. Under Theme, I'm going to select Floral, since the ring does feature flower motifs prominently in the design. I'll skip over wedding selections, as I would not consider this particular ring as being likely for bridal jewelry. Under Gender, I'll select Women's. The next field is Gemstone, where I will choose Blue Topaz. The remaining aspects fields do not apply, except for color, where I will choose Blue. Just close this window when you're done with the aspects. There's nothing you need to save or submit. At this point, our work should be complete. However, I'll quickly read over my titles and my long description to make sure that I have not made any errors. When I feel confident that the PID is complete, I'll change the product status to Ready and click on Process at the top or bottom of the page. The spell checker will run automatically and turn up any possible spelling errors I may have made. When the spell check is complete, I can click on OK, and the ring is submitted for review. And you're finished.